Well, good morning and welcome to the very first Brekkie with the guy who sews live in the month of August. I can't believe it's August already. I think it's like what feels like last week it was June or May. The temperature outside
Yeah.
knows it's August, but yeah, it doesn't feel like August. Anyway, I brought along my good mate Russ. We've been on several times before, and we are praying that we don't have a repeat of live number one, where my electricity just went and Russ got to experience his very first solo live. But it's a good baptism of fire. Anyway, if you don't know
It was.
Russ, you can definitely put his link into his command into the chat, which is either guest or Russ. If you're watching the live, if you're watching the replay, just check it in the description. Anyway, I'm going to let Russ introduce himself because I do a terrible job at introducing folks, and they can do it a lot better themselves. So over to you, Russ.
Hi, I am Russ with Quilt Meets World. I've had my YouTube channel, I think, for 3 years now.
I think so.
No, we're approaching 3 years. It'll be 3 years in September, if I remember correctly. So I do all kinds of shenanigans on my channel. I have a weekly vlog that comes out on Wednesdays. I have a live that comes out on today at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then about once a month right now, we are doing the Kona block of the month, the 2025 block of the month, that is, on Sundays with friends. And every now and then, I will send out an email to folks and announce on my channel that we are doing a live Zoom Sew Day, which is only on Zoom. It's not broadcast anywhere and everything. So if anybody wants to join in on those, we have those as well.
That's excellent. Yeah, Russ is a lot of fun. And I still remember the day that you sent me an email saying, "Hey, I've got this crazy idea. I think I'm going to go start my own channel." And I was like, "Absolutely, please do that. I think it'd be a lot of fun." So it's been
Was
fun
that
seeing
before or after I asked about Australian Christmas songs?
I think it was well before, actually, if I remember correctly. I mean, time flies. So,
Yeah, time's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about QuiltCon being in Atlanta, and then you're like, "Hey, I've got this crazy idea. I want to start my own channel." And I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, go for it." Because I think you asked me if I was going to Atlanta, and I was like, "No, it's coming to Raleigh in 2024, so I'm just gonna, wait till it comes closer and so forth." And we've been pretty good mates ever since. So it's been a lot of fun, and it's always good to see your podcast that you do every week because you do those now on Wednesdays. So if you enjoy my podcast and you want to see someone else doing something similar, definitely duck over and check out Russ. He does a really good job with his. He's not quite as rushed as I am, but which is a good thing. So I like to get in, get out, and go about my merry day. But yeah, you've also got that. Anyway, what did you bring along to sew with us today, Russ?
I have the very last bits of my dragon fruit homework. So I've got one last snail's trail to do, and then I've got a couple flying geese that I need to do. So that's what I'm starting with. Don't know what
That's
I'm going to
awesome.
finish with because this hopefully shouldn't take our entire time.
We'll also have to distract Russ so he doesn't get as much done. I always tend to bring on way more than I can ever do in an hour and a half. So that way I never feel like I'm rushed. And I always have a backup project too, except for today, in case something goes drastically wrong. But I am going to work on the pastel quilt because this needs to be done in the next couple of weeks before the person that's going to be using it arrives.
Ooh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Very
she's.
Easter.
It reminds me, and I don't know if it's anybody else. I was sitting here looking through all these fabrics and working with them, and I was like, "What does this remind me of?" And it reminds me of those conversation heart candies that you get around Valentine's Day.
Oh, yes.
See, now that I said that, you can't unsee it, right?
Now you need to do some embroidery in those now.
I don't have the time for that, unfortunately. But no,
okay. Conversation hearts have changed since we were kids.
Well,
they now have things like text me.
Oh, yeah, because I got those new ones with there's different versions out there where they have the ones that says text me or LOL or
Yeah.
Or that, yeah, I'd forgotten about that. But they still had the traditional ones, I think.
I don't know if well, they may have just added some of the phrases. Of course, they probably don't have things like, well, that wasn't part of the conversation part, so never mind.
That's all right. I can't remember. So, all right. See, I'm going to keep working on this. This is row 6 out of 10. So, I figure I'm hoping to get this quilt top done this weekend. So that way I can go to the fabric store next week and grab the backing fabric for this one and the pink quilt. That's kind of what my goal is. I was reading the comment here from Pat saying, "Good morning, Sean and Russ. Chilly here in Chemung County, New York State." Okay, I didn't know anywhere in the US was cold. So yeah, if you're looking for a respite from the heat, apparently Chemung, and I'm probably butchering the name of that county up there in New York State's a good place to go hang out. So that's awesome. Yeah.
It is significantly cooler than it was a week ago.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think it's only in like must be in the 80s today or something.
Yeah.
Which for the metric world is like the high 20s. And it's always funny, like, it's always like boiling hot here. And then I read, a Facebook post and that from my, high school classmates and stuff, and they're all freezing to death.
Yeah.
And they're freezing to death when it's like 60, but, we won't talk about that.
Yeah, the other day, I was like, why is it chilly in my house? And then I was like, wait, my air conditioner can actually work because it's not 100 degrees.
Yeah, at least you have an air conditioner at work. So I remember you were out without that one for what, how long? Like a month? Was it
That
last
was
year or the
2
year
years
before?
ago, and it was 40 nights and 40 days.
It was 2 years ago?
Yes.
Wow. Time
In
really does
fact,
fly.
I was in the middle of it 2 years ago right now.
Wow. I remember that, but I did not realize it was 2 years ago. Yeah, so let us know what what the weather and the temperature is like where you currently are. I'd be very curious to hear that. As I said, I think it's in the it's supposed to be in the low 80s here today. I'm halfway considering going to the fabric store to get backing fabric, but I think I might just go next week on the way home from work.
Give you something fun to look forward to at the end of work.
Yeah, well, the fabric store is closer to my office than it is to
yes.
to here. So
something about crossing a bridge, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, I could go today, but it's 45 minutes there, 45 minutes back. The last time I was there, to buy this fabric, it took me an hour to find what I was looking for. So,
Oh
yeah,
my! Our high today over
what.
here is only going to be 79.
Oh wow, okay.
I mean, it's going to be
So
rainy, so it's a rainy 79.
Hey, we'll take what we can get. 79 is around 26 degrees centigrade, if I remember correctly. For anyone in the metric world. Anyway, let me take a look and see who is here. I believe Polly and Annette were our first chatters today. It's good to see you, Miss Joyty. It's good morning to you. Good afternoon, Miss Christina. It's always good to have you hang out with us for a little while. Michelle the Quilter popped in along with Katie Crafts, and hopefully I don't miss anyone. Candace, Terry, good morning to you. Jeannie E, Pat Wainwright. I'm going to just butcher everything of her today because I can't pronounce the county she's in or even her name. I'm not having a good morning with this. Good morning, Miss Kathy from Yoga and Quilts. It's good to see you. She is up early. She's out there in Iowa, which is that central or is it mountain? Probably central.
Probably central.
Well, I know Illinois and Missouri are central, and Iowa's next door to that. So I'm assuming it's, yeah. Anyway, good to have you with us. Good morning, Miss Linda. It's good to see you. And Christina says it's 23 degrees centigrade in Stockholm, around 72. Okay, perfect. So
that's like gorgeous weather.
I know. Yeah, I'd be happy with that. But you're like me, Russ, too, where we're in shorts until it's like close to freezing. So
Yes, I joke that if it's above 34, I'm in shorts.
yeah, I used to help out at our church in the cafe, and I wore shorts in there year round. It didn't matter if it was the freezing cold or. And there was one day, I think it was at that time in the morning, I think it was like 8 degrees Fahrenheit, which in the metric world is about -12. And my pastor came in, and he looks at me in my shorts, and he's like, "Please tell me you didn't wear those on the way in." I'm like, "No, I had pants." I did not, because I used to go in there and help open, and I didn't want to be standing outside waiting for someone to pick keys. So I was like, "Yeah, I had long pants on, and as soon as I got inside, I just took them off." So, all right, Cappy says, "Yeah, have to go 2 states over into Colorado to get to Mountain." Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm really good at the time zones on the eastern half of, once until you get to Chicago, and then after that, I'm a little fuzzy in that Midwest section. But that's a good way to think about it. So, see, I'm always learning something new.
Well, I don't know where many states are west of the Mississippi, so I'm bad at I'm bad at geography. I'm just really bad at geography. When I moved here, uh, it was before the advent of GPS, and especially GPS on your phone. So it was always, I know how to get there, and I was going all the way around things. And people are like, "Why are you going this way?" It's like, that's the only way I know how to get around.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at the states. I was doing a quiz with one of my colleagues yesterday at work, um, and I got, and again, I did not learn any of the U.S. states really until I moved here. So I got 49 out of 50 because I always used to get Vermont and New Hampshire. I could never tell which one of those was which. And then Amanda's sitting here, and she was like, "Vermont looks like a V and New Hampshire looks like an N. That's how you tell." I was like, "Well, I wish I'd known that earlier." So if you look at it on the map, the V, like the Vermont's on the left, and it looks like a V.
Okay. I
Yeah,
see it now.
yeah.
I just know Vermont's on the left, New Hampshire's on the right.
See, that's the two I always get mixed up. Like I know where Iowa is. I used to get Arizona and New Mexico mixed up, and that sort of thing there. But I've gotten pretty good at that. As I say, if you give me a blank map and tell me to fill it out, I can pretty much fill it out pretty well. And I'm doing well because I came from a country with 6 states, so it's a lot more.
650, same difference.
Yeah, same difference. I'm also pretty good with Canada. I always get the middle three confused: Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. I always tend to mix those three around a little bit. I can get the Northwest Territories, Yukon, Nunavut, all that sort of stuff there as well. But those middle three, I always seem to get mixed around. So there you go. All right. Good morning, Miss Katie. It's good to see you. She said she can hang out for a few minutes, getting some groups for tour guiding. It starts at 12 p.m. Greenland time. I'll be leaving you live running. Well, thank you so much for that, Katie. It's good to see you. She is over there in Greenland, and yeah, when the cruise ships come in, she does city tours and that for the folks that come in. She's actually met a couple of viewers that way that came in on cruise ships, which I thought was fun. Good morning, Miss Joe. It's good to see you. Miss Tasha has I can't say she's rolled out of bed necessarily, but she's awake. So it's good to see you. Some folks wake up and just turn the TV or the phone on and watch that way, and I'm cool with that. As long as you enjoy yourself while you're here, it doesn't matter to me how.
Getting your mind ready to process the day.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of folks start their weekend off with us, and I think that's fantastic. And I've had folks take me to Home Depot. I've had people take me to Joann's with them. I think it's fun. So there you go. Won't be going to Joann's with me anymore. That'll have to be a thing of the past. But
I know. I didn't go there often, but they had certain things that I always went there for, and now I can't.
Yeah. I know I liked them too. I used to get a lot of thread from them, especially when it was on sale. Like, it was like buy two, get free.
Yep.
And thank goodness I had a good stockpile before they announced their bankruptcy. So I still have enough to keep myself going for a while. but then I'll have to go look for somewhere else, I guess. So, but that's a future Sean problem.
Exactly. So you were talking about Katie does the cruise tours and stuff.
Yeah.
I found out this week that the cruise that I'm going on in October has now changed its itinerary.
Oh, okay.
There's apparently disruption in Haiti. So instead of being a Western Caribbean cruise, we are now a Mexico and Honduras cruise.
Oh, okay. Never been to Mexico, have not been to Honduras, but I got pretty close to the Honduras border. We were in Nicaragua and we went to, what was the place, I think called Esteli, and it was like 20 miles from the Honduras border. So I got about as close to Honduras as I can without actually stepping foot inside that country. But that's just a beautiful part of the world. So I think you'll enjoy that immensely.
Yeah. I mean, I initially had my whole mindset on, islands and stuff, but I'm like, I'm going on a cruise. I don't care where I go.
Exactly. Yeah. Have you been on one before?
I've never been on a cruise.
You'll enjoy it. You really will. Yeah, we've been on a couple. We have not been on one in, oh goodness, like 12 or 13 years. But we did one from Orlando down to the Bahamas. I'll get it right there in a minute. We were supposed to stop in that private island on the way back, but bad weather prevented that from happening. So we did a day at sea, and that was still good. We just had a good time, because you can still go get a nice meal.
Yep.
They always have plenty of activities for you. And then we've done a couple to New England and Canada, and those I've loved, going up to see Halifax, Charlottetown, Sydney. I wish I'd known John. I wish I'd actually known Quilty and known John, because I would have absolutely stopped in and said hi to him. I keep hoping my work sends me to Halifax one day, because if they do, I'm jumping in the car and rolling up there. Because he's only like 3 hours from Halifax. It's not super far. So I keep trying to talk my boss into it. I haven't been sent there yet, but maybe one day.
My sister has family in Nova Scotia, and last week I asked her, I was like, how far are you from this place? And she goes, like an hour or something like that, where her family is. I was like, you need to go bring John cookies next time you're up there.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. I adore him. He was on with me last week.
Yes.
For anyone that, yeah, it was fun. I was just reading Nikki's things. Said, Russ, was your stop at Labadee, Haiti? I've been there, and you're not missing much. It's just a fenced-off area, part of the beach. Yeah, I think I remember hearing that myself. I think my in-laws said the same thing. They've been on a bunch of cruises down there. I think they've been to pretty much every island in the Gulf. So I don't remember.
Yeah, the stop was going to be at Labadee, which is their own private portion of the island.
Oh, okay.
But I guess, they didn't want to have on the rest of the island or something like that. I don't know how like private resort areas versus the rest of the island works on places like that. So I was just like, whatevs.
Yeah, just get on a ship and enjoy yourself and have a good time. Do you have any days at sea, or are you?
We have 2 days at sea. It initially was going to be the first day. Like we left Fort Lauderdale, then arrived at the Bahamas the next day, then had a day at sea, and then did Jamaica and Haiti, and then another day at sea and back in Fort Lauderdale. Now it's going to be, we leave Fort Lauderdale. The first day is going to be at sea, and then we do the 3 ports, and then the last day is going to be at sea to come back.
Okay, that's awesome. I was reading here. Joe Kelly says here, and this is what I also think too. She says cruises are great to get a feeling for places. Then you can always fly somewhere that you want to explore more. I found that Bermuda is my favorite place. I spend all my extra money going there, and that's exactly right. That's one of the things I like about it. You get to unpack once and
visit
visit a bunch.
multiple
Wake up in a
places.
different city every day or a different
Yeah.
island, and like you're only in port for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. I think the Bahamas sometimes you're there for like 14 or something, so you don't get to spend a whole lot of time. Like you're just getting a taste, like a sample of the city. But yeah, you can say it's a good way for you to check it out and go, okay, well, yeah, I'd like to go back to the Bahamas, or I'd like Boston is one place I'd love to go back to, or what's the other one in Maine? Bar Harbor. Absolutely love Bar Harbor. I definitely, yeah, we stopped there for a day. And yeah, very small taste. We were kind of put on a bus and we drove around and we saw all the beautiful stuff, and it would have been nice to have spent more time there. But I didn't have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars getting airline tickets and hotels to find out that I hated it. So, like Newport, Rhode Island, it's pretty, but if I never go back there again, I wouldn't be upset.
Yes, I have actually been to Newport once. We ended up doing an adventure. We managed to get there.
Right.
We got lost trying to come back because there was no cell service in a lot of Rhode Island.
Okay.
And like we were like, did we just pass by the same fire department 4 times? And we didn't, but it felt like it. Yeah. But yeah, we finally ended up stopping at a gas station and said, how do we get to an interstate? And they were like, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, I know we're somewhere near where when we found out where we were, we're like, how did we get this far west or east?
Yeah, well, it's always good to stop and ask them. I'm like, I know I got lost in Sydney, Australia once, and this was well before GPS and that. And I just figured, you know what, I'm just going to pick a road and I'll finally find my way home. It only took me 2.5 hours to find my way home, especially, and then one stop in a place that I think I saw at Australia's Most Wanted one night. But I remember I was up with my father-in-law in Tyson's Corner up near DC one time, and he wanted to go to LL Bean store, and we couldn't find it. And we're like, okay, who do we ask? And he's like, oh, FedEx. They deliver stuff. Go ask them.
Yes. No, in New England, getting on any of the major roads does not necessarily mean that you're going to get to an interstate, because like the Mass Pike only has like 18 exits from New York to Boston. And trying to find like, where do I get on something? Yeah, very difficult.
See, and it seems like for whatever reason, I must have that face on me or something. Like if someone's ever lost, they always just ask me. I remember I was in Maryland, and I was walking down the street, and someone pulled up and said, "Hey, do you know where the interstate is?" And I'd never been there before. I was walking down McDonald's to get breakfast, and I'm like, hang on, I don't, but Google Maps here does. Give me a second, I'll pull it up for you.
Yeah, when I was living in Massachusetts, I dated somebody who lived in Haverhill, which is not spelled the way it's not pronounced the way it's spelled. And like we were walking somewhere, and somebody stopped us. How do you get to such and such? I was like, I don't live here. Yeah, I love that. And again, that was before Google Maps. So
yeah. See, now I can just pull it up in Google Maps. I was riding my bicycle down the road one day, and someone pulled up next to me in a car and asked me how to get to such and it was near my house, so I knew exactly where I needed to go. I guess those folks figured that if I was riding a bicycle around, actually, it's happened a couple of times where I've been on a bike and people have figured, okay, well, this person knows where he's going. So,
well, it's worse when you're in the Boston area and somebody stops you in a car and says, how do you get to such and such? And then we're like, well, we know how to get there walking, but with all the one-way roads, I can't direct you on how to get there on a car.
Yeah. But I think my favorite would be when I took Lorenzo and Simon to the Air and Space Museum up in Hampton, which is nearby. And we're walking back to the car, and these two dudes come up to us and ask me where the nearest bar is. So, I have no idea, sir. I looked it up on my Google Maps. It was across the street. I'm like, okay, look at that thing right there. That's your bar. Go have a good time. I'm telling you, I must have this invisible sign on my shirt that says, "Please ask me for directions."
That's amazing.
Yeah, I could go on and on about these different stories. Okay, Katie's on her way out to um, get ready for her tour guide. So I hope she has a good day. Good morning, Miss Nancy. It is good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I was going to send you a message the other day because I haven't heard from you in a while, and I was wondering how you were doing. So it's good to hear from you. Lizette, good morning to see you. Nikki says she always gets lost in Memphis. Yeah, that's a good question. Is there a city or a location that you always seem to get lost in? For me, it used to be Virginia Beach. I used to get lost in that city all the time. Now that I have been out there a bunch more, you can pretty much drop me out there in any street and you give me 10 minutes and I'll find my way out. But yeah, is there a place where you always seem to get lost? For me, Sydney is probably one place I can get lost if I'm not careful. And Jersey, I can get turned around in Jersey once you get on one of them stupid left turns or right turns, or it splits off and the GPS doesn't tell you where you're supposed to go until it's far too late. So yeah, for me, I have to say probably Jersey.
I get lost everywhere,
Oh, okay.
including it. Like when I was dating Jerkface, we were heading somewhere, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you just turn here, here, here," and then I was like, "Wait, how did we get here?" And it's because I thought I was one road further down when I was giving the directions. And the thing is, it's right around the corner from where that we got lost.
I used to get lost all the time when I was young. Like when I first moved to the States, I'd get lost everywhere. I guess now I study maps and try to know where I'm going before I even go. So that way, like if there's an issue with the GPS, I'm good. But yeah, I think Boston. Yeah, someone said Boston. Who was that? Lori said Boston. I've only been to Boston once,
Boston,
and I was
because all the roads are so windy.
yes.
You think you're heading west, and then all of a sudden you're going back east, and we're like, but actually in Boston, you can be on 93 north and 95 south at the exact same time.
Yeah, we have things like I think there's somewhere in Virginia like that too, where you can do all that. I wouldn't say I got lost in DC. I've been lost in DC once or twice. It's more, I get turned around, but you give me 5 minutes and I'll find my way back to where I'm going. You just look for the Washington Monument and just drive towards that, and you'll be doing okay. There you go. Let's see. Heather says she gets lost in IKEA Sensory Overload. So
we were there last week.
Yeah, I was there a couple of weeks ago. They have the cutest. Well, I don't know if they still do. The cutest doormats with Darksons on it. Amanda found it online. It was on an Instagram reel. Yeah, and she sent me the thing of it, and I was like, "Well, that thing's gone." And apparently, they still had them in stock, so she ordered it online, and I went and picked it up the next day. And it's kind of nice. I don't know if you've ever picked up stuff from IKEA in the like pick up and store section. They actually have like a cute little waiting room area where you just go and pick up.
I've not done the pickup, but I've seen people doing the pickup, and it's the same area here in Atlanta as the returns. Or is that 12 years ago when we did it? It's the same area as returns.
Yeah, it's actually it's next to each, like the one in Norfolk at least, and I'm sure they're all the same. Yeah, you have the returns line, but it's actually like a little waiting area next to it, and it's totally separate. So I went up to the returns line, and she was like, "No, you just need to go over there." And by the time I went over there, they were calling out my name. Off I went. So yeah, it's really nice. Like you just, if it takes them 5-10 minutes to get it, so you're just sitting in a nice, comfortable couch or something. So
yeah,
works out quite nice. Let's see, Ingrid's here with us. Good morning to you. Nikki says she also dated Jerkface back in the 90s. I think if we ask around, there's probably a lot of people that dated a Jerkface or a Jack Donkey or something like that back in the day. So Yeah, there we go. All right. So yeah, Jersey will do it all the time. Dragonfly Donna says she always gets lost looking into hubby's eyes. Oh, that's cute. I like that one. That's a nice one.
Oh,
That's a good problem to have. It's better than jerk face. So
yeah.
there you go. Donna says, yeah, Jerkface lived in Maryland during the early 1980s. Okay, well, I'm glad I avoided this dude. I don't know where he is now, but yeah, glad he's gone. Good morning to you. I got it right the other week, but I'm going to butcher it today. Dubravka H.
Dubravka.
Yes, thank you. I know it's and I knew the origin the other week, like Croatia. I'll get it right in a minute. It's been a long week for me, so forgive me if I'm a little more out of sorts and a hot mess than usual. I'm always a hot mess. Nikki says Jack Donkey. I like that. Yes, it's a nice way of saying something similar like that. Although we probably shouldn't say the first part of that because that's probably going to encourage my friend to come out. He's gonna be like, "What? You want me to come out and play?" Nah, he came out and played last night. I was working on Toasty and I didn't quite do the scene wide enough, and so I had to rip out a small section of my paper piecing, and I was very scared I was going to tear the paper and do bad things to it. But we actually got through it pretty easily. So
you know the trick if you have to do seam ripping with foundation paper piecing, right?
With the tape or whatever it is?
Yeah, magic tape.
Yeah, I didn't do that because I've had to do it with, I don't know what paper that Legit Kits uses, but it seems to be like some sort of magic. Because I use like a 1.5 millimeter stitch length, which is good, and I can pull it out, and it doesn't seem to rip the paper too bad. So I don't know.
Nice.
Maybe I'm on borrowed time. Maybe I've just been extremely lucky the few times that I've had to do it. But so far I haven't. Yeah, I didn't know it was magic tape. I've heard painter's tape or whatever.
It's the Scotch brand, and it's the magic tape.
I have some of that floating around here, so that's good to know. I'm always open to suggestions for ideas because I've tried very hard not to make mistakes with Toasty, but inevitably, no matter how good you are, or maybe I'm just bad, you are going to make mistakes. So
a lot of papers will let you rip once, but if you have to rip twice, then you definitely need to get the tape out.
Yeah, I'm not going to make. I try very hard not to make the mistake once. If I'm doing it once, I'm going to double check, triple check, quadruple check, so I'm not doing it twice. Yeah, I'm not. I don't want to try it a second time. Turn my iron on. All right. Good morning, Croatian. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm terrible with names, and oh wow, good morning, Miss Rachel. It is good to see you. You are up bright and early. She's one of my friends out there in one of those West Coast states. I want to say California, but I'm probably getting it wrong. I know I'm getting. I'm almost certain it's one of the West, Pacific. So that means she's up at 5 something in the morning. So she has a fun channel. She has been on with me once, I think it was, when we did our very first quilt trunk show. You've been part of one of those, correct? Was it last year?
I was part of, yeah. No, I wasn't last year.
Maybe the second.
Before. The second.
Yeah, but I've done 3 of them now. I've got to get started on the I've got to get started on organizing this year's, because it rolls around very quickly. You sit here and you go, okay, well, it's August. I've got plenty of time because I'm not doing it till like New Year's Day, but I'm going to blink and it's going to be up November, and then I'm going to have to be scrambling finding people. So,
well, as you said, it's already August. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, I was thinking this morning, and now I'm a little concerned that, and that's 6, so that's 5. I've got about 3 weeks to finish these 2 quilts, and then I have 4 weeks to finish my State Fair quilt. So I need to get my tail into gear and actually get some stuff done. See what happens. Okay. Up bright and early, Washington State. I knew it was one of the West Coast states. I said California, but I wasn't, I wasn't 100% sure on that.
You've had a 1 in 3 chance for a West Coast state.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, we need to have Rachel back on again at some point. So that'd be good. So are you planning to come to QuiltCon next year, or you got to wait till it comes to your hometown the following year?
I am currently planning to go to Raleigh.
Okay.
I need to get my hotel booked. The
Okay.
hotel that I stayed at last year was a very nice hotel. And it may not have been like right in the middle of all the stuff, but it was close enough. I mean, it was a 20-minute drive down there, and it was the easy parking and stuff. So I am currently planning on going.
Oh, nice. That'd be good. We got to catch up with you again. So
if you
yeah,
go, I got something I need to bring for you.
Oh, okay.
Because I think we were talking a couple years ago about you're looking at a quilting frame or something like that.
Potentially at some point. I've got to find room for one first.
Well, I can give you a free one.
Okay.
So yeah, it helped me. What I only used it to baste. I didn't use it to do any quilting on it. It's for a it's basically a hand stitching frame, not a machine frame.
Oh, nice. Okay, that sounds good.
I'll look it up. I'll send you the details at some point as QuiltCon gets closer, and if you want it, I'll just pack it in my trunk.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, because I'll be driving down there because I'll just drive. My plan is just to drive, get up bright and early that Saturday morning, rock on down there, and then turn around and come home. Because I'm fortunate enough that I can do that. Since it's like 2.5, that's 2 hours, just under 3 hours for me to get there one way. I don't know if my wife will come this time or the kids. Last time around, Amanda and Lorenzo went to they were helping out with a school play, and I asked Simon if he wanted to stay home and look after the dogs or come to a quilt show, and he very quickly said he'd rather stay home and look after the dogs, even though he likes cats.
Yeah,
hey, he was given the option.
I learned last year that it takes basically the same amount of time to fly to Raleigh as it takes to drive.
Yeah.
Because, I'd have to get an Uber, get to the airport, get checked in, and then do the flight, like however many hours you have to be for the flight and stuff, just to make sure your baggage. And if I left the same time that I was planning on leaving if I was going to be flying. Maybe it was a little bit later. And I got to the hotel the same time as I would have gotten to the hotel. So I'm like, this was just easier. It was less stressful, but
less money. You have your own car that you use.
Signs for a Buc-ee's, but it wasn't open yet.
Oh, good old! I want to go to a Buc-ee's. They have one. They were building one up on 81 in the western part of our state. And I think it just opened a few weeks ago. So we'll probably take the girls up there at some point next year.
I'm going to tell you, it's going to be better if you can go on a weekday somehow.
Okay. Yeah, I figured as much. We'll work something out.
Yeah. I mean, you can go there on a weekend. It's just you're going to be dealing with about 12 times more traffic, and there's already a lot of traffic there.
Oh, okay. Well, then we might be just going on a weekday then, because I don't like crowds at all. Not my fun. Nikki says she wants to go to a large quilt show. hoping to go to Paducah next year. That sounds fun. Yeah, if you ever get a chance to go to a quilt show, it doesn't matter if it's big, small, or anything. I highly recommend going.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I got to start gathering the fabric for my entry that I'm going to do in the East Cobb show next year.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
it's going to be a Russ design pattern.
Well, there you go. That sounds good.
And Stephanie was able to guess the theme of the quilt. And then when she found out the final details, because I told her the details of it, she's like, you need to enter that into QuiltCon. I was like, maybe. So it may end up being at QuiltCon Atlanta if I get around to figuring out how to enter it into that.
I think to enter into QuiltCon, and I know very little about it. Just want to say good morning to Julie. Good morning to Deb S. It's good to see both of you. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, yes. Nancy says she ordered John's frog pattern, just waiting for it to arrive. That's awesome. I want to see progress on that. Anyway, QuiltCon, I think you have to be a member of the Modern Quilt Guild to enter. Okay, and then I think you have to go online, and it should, like, say competitions and stuff, and then you have to submit your photos and that sort of thing on to complete a quilt, because it's done by jury, and then they select what they want to have show, and then I guess at that point you'll pay your entry fee and all that sort of stuff there. So
yeah, I'll figure it out. It's just I haven't decided if I'm going to actually attempt to enter or not.
That is one of my I'm not going to say long-term goals, but mid-term goals. I would like to try and submit something into QuiltCon at some point. I know the chance of me getting in is honestly fairly remote because I am not a modern quilter, but I do have a design in my head. I know exactly what I want to do with it. I just have to get it on the fabric. Won't be this year. Maybe that's something that you and I can challenge each other to do, is get these quilts done so we can do both submit into QuiltCon next year and just see what happens. You know, if we get
might have to be done because it's going to be entered in the East Cobb show. That much I know.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to just. I'm just going to set some time apart and start working on it.
Yeah, I just need to do the math on how much fabric I need.
Yeah. And the nice thing with me, except for the background fabric, I could probably get away with using stash for most of mine. So, good morning, Miss Jamie. It's good to see you. Nikki says, I do go to little quilt shows that are local. The biggest one I attended, the one that was in St. Louis, but the Paducah and Houston are on my bucket list. Yeah, Houston I'd love to go to as well. I keep looking up airline tickets for that because we do have a nonstop to Houston. I've actually figured out that if all went well, I could leave here on a Saturday morning at 6 a.m., get into Houston at 9, go to the show, and then turn around and come home the same day if I wanted. But then I see it's $800 round trip for my Economy Plus seat because I'm not sitting in the back of the bus because my legs are way too long for those tight little seats.
Yeah, I had to book my flight to Fort Lauderdale because I'm not driving that far for the cruise. And Southwest doesn't have any direct flights. Not that I'm happy with Southwest with their recent changes.
Yeah, you and me both, and everybody else in the country.
But yeah, the booking Delta was interesting because I'm like, I've not had to do a lot of this stuff, but I did pick my seat. I've got I got an exit row seat.
Oh, nice.
With the extra leg room, so I'm happy with my choices. So as long as there's no additional changes to my flight, I'm going to be good.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, so no, I keep seeing the ticket prices. It's $600, $700, $800, and I'm like, do I really need to go? No. So
that was like when I was pricing out QuiltCon in Phoenix.
Yeah, I didn't even attempt that.
Because it was $500 just for the Southwest flight, but then it was about $500 a day for hotel, and I'm like, nope, not doing that.
Yeah, see, I think if I ever went to Phoenix for QuiltCon, I'd be calling up my mate John over at what's
Guys,
Guys Craft too. Yeah, I just like, you got a spare room because I'll just come stay with you. Plus, I always
well,
joke
he
if I went
ended
to
up getting a
Phoenix.
hotel downtown to stay for QuiltCon.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, because otherwise I would have done the same.
Yeah. Well, I always joke about that too. Like, yeah, if I went out to Phoenix in that time of year, you probably wouldn't see me at QuiltCon anyway because I'd get lost and end up at the MLB spring training. Oh, where's Sean? What, didn't he say you was coming? Oh, I'm out at the baseball field. Yeah, come see me there. I don't know. I just feel like I'm very blessed that I have so many wonderful quilt shows very close
Yeah,
by. So why would I want to spend, all that money when I can spend it on fair? Now, I'm not saying I'll never go out somewhere to a quilt show, but you know, budgets are tight and everything else. And one day I might go out to one of these shows so I can meet some of the viewers and that sort of thing there out on the West Coast. But there's no immediate plans, unfortunately.
yeah.
Now if one of these shows wants to sponsor me, or they want to say, "Hey, Sean, we'd love for you to come out and speak," and that sort of thing,
Exactly.
yeah, we'll cover your airline tickets and hotels. My email address is theguywhosews@gmail.com. Please contact me. I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. So there you go. Good morning, Miss Patty from Nevada. It's good to see you. Why, we've got people from everywhere. There you go. Yeah. And that says, want leg room fly first class. Yes, that would be wonderful. But yeah, that is, again, we've had budgetary restrictions. And
Right.
unfortunately, although if you do it at the right time and everything else, I remember I flew, like, Amanda's best friend lives in Wisconsin, and they wanted to hang out for a couple of weeks together. So we flew Amanda to Chicago. It was so much cheaper than Madison, Wisconsin. And I looked up the prices between coach class and first class, and it was like $20. Like, by the time you put the bag, like one bag on each
Yeah.
way, first class was like $20 more each way. Now I had to book like American one way and United the other to get this deal. But yeah, so always look at the first class prices. Generally, they're astronomical and it's not worth it. But sometimes you can get a deal, and so don't ever discount that. And
I
so
got upgraded once. It was back in the AirTran days. I was
I love the air
flying
train.
to Boston for whatever reason, and as I was checking in, the person checking in was like, "I'm going to upgrade you to first class or business class, rather."
Yeah,
And I was like, "Okay." And when I got, I mean, it was very, very front row business class,
yeah,
and when the flight attendant was like doing, I was like, wait, what? Because I had never flown anything besides coach at that point, and I
right.
was okay. Thank you. The couple extra perks that we got in business class.
Yeah, their business class was nice. We flew business with them once or twice up to New York. We went up there for a cruise, and we didn't get upgraded free. They offered, when we were getting ready to check in, they said, it's like $39 more, and I'm like, well, it's $25 for the bag, so it's like $14 more in reality.
Yeah,
Why would we say no to that? And it was nice. I mean, it's not like international first class where you get your own cocoon and all that sort of stuff there. But the extra legroom is definitely very nice, and for the price we paid for it, it was very much worth it.
yeah.
There we go.
I'm halfway hoping that they'll upgrade me to first class on my cruise trip, simply because my birthday happens to be that week.
Always,
I was like,
be
that'd be a
nice.
nice birthday present if you could just upgrade me for free.
Just be nice to people, and you never know what you'll get. I remember there
Oh,
was.
I am always nice to people that are, you know, it, the folks who tend to have the worst experiences with customers, I'm usually the nicest to.
Oh yeah, I'm always nice because I work in customer service. I
Yeah,
know, like, you get you get abuse, like, and that sort of thing there. But I've had it, and I've always just been nice to people because that's just what you need to do. Like,
Yeah.
there's no need to be a jerk. You might not agree with the company's policies, but they're not the ones making it. They're just the ones that have to follow along, and that sort of thing there. But I remember there was one time, the first time I took Amanda to Australia, we were in San Francisco airport. We're checking in at the international section, and I was asking the check-in agent, I said, do you have any bulkhead seating? Which is, we have the extra leg room. And I figured the answer was going to be no, but I figured, it never hurts to ask. And she looked on the computer and she's like, no, I'm sorry, it's all occupied. And I'm like, okay, no problem. And she looked at me really weird. And I'm like, is there something wrong, ma'am? And she's like, you're not yelling. She's like, you're not yelling at me. That was her
that's
response.
under her control.
That's what, she expected me to yell at her. I'm like, ma'am, I just asked if it was possible, and you said no, and that's okay. Like, not an issue.
Yeah.
And so, she started scribbling on this piece of paper, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here? She handed us club passes so we could go into the airline lounge and enjoy ourselves before the flight, just because we were kind to her. Like, that's sad. Like, that poor woman, like, her job was that terrible that, she automatically expects to get yelled at when someone asks a question. I felt horrible for her. I still think about that poor woman. Brianne, good morning. She said, I got in late. What are we all working on today? I am working on the pastel quilt. Just piecing this together. We're going really simple today. I normally do East projects and really complicated stuff. And this morning, I need to get this done. I figured, let's just do something simple and hopefully keep my friend, who shall not be named, away. And then, Russ, what are you working on again?
I am working on basically my last dragon fruit block. It is a snail trail. I've got it partially done.
That is awesome. I know you've been working on that for a while. So,
yeah, I've talked to Stephanie now that she's back from her adventures, and it sounds like we will be finishing this up in 2 weeks, I think.
Wow.
And then, right after that, we're going to be finishing the Bumbleberry Pie block of the month.
Very nice. Yeah, she's been really busy. Like, I can't keep up with all the stuff she's been up to recently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm exhausted just hearing everything that she's done.
I know, right? Yeah, so more power to her that she can get it all done. I think it's awesome. Wow, it's almost 9 o'clock already. Good morning, Donnell. It's good to see you. Good morning to Jen. I think I forgot to say good morning to you as well. If I miss someone, I apologize. It's not deliberate. I just get distracted very, very easily. These things. But, when you come onto my channel, you see the real Sean. I don't sit there and put on a facade. It's what you see is what you get. And if you like it, wonderful. And if not, I hope you find what you are looking for. If you are enjoying this, it'd be great if you can hit that like button when you get a chance, because it does help us out. Saying hi in the chat also helps. Or if you're watching the replay, saying hi in the comments is also wonderful. And then you said you're live at 11 today as well, correct?
Yes, because after I'm done here, I need to go get breakfast because I'm getting hungry, and then I'll be back in live at 11.
Okay, Donnell, are you live today at 10? If you let me know in the comments, that would be, or the chat, that'd be great. I know last week you had to take off because of injury. Hopefully she is feeling better. She's actually one of my fellow ambassadors this time around for the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt, which will be fun. She does not know what colorway she's gotten yet. Neither do I. I think a lot of us will find out this Thursday evening which one we got and who picked it for us. Because I don't know who was picking for me this time. I know it's one of 4 people, because I know it's not it's not Amber, because she picked for me a couple of times ago. So she told me it wasn't her, but I haven't asked anybody else.
Or maybe it is her and she's just lying to you.
That's possible, but it's possible, and I thought about that, but really I think, since there's 6 of us choosing for each other, I think there's a 99% chance that it's someone else. Don't ask me who. It could be Andy. It could be Ian, Beth, or I can picture her. Crystal. I'll get it right there in a minute. I was just like, I can't remember her name. I'm terrible with names. I really, really am. So
Yeah, I've been here for the past almost 2 weeks trying to figure out which colorway for Second Stars to the Right I want to do.
yeah. Which one are you leaning towards?
I am leaning towards Dawn.
The colorful one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. That one's always caught my eye. Amanda was looking, she likes the blue one because she said that it was like the characters pop out more and that sort of thing there. But after talking to John last week on the channel and him showing the fabrics for Dawn, I don't think that's going to be a big concern. So I was like, okay, Soul, get me a kit. Because I was going to do my own, but I don't know.
Well, part of me was also thinking sunrise, not sunrise, sunset.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
Which would be I bring in my own colors for the background. But I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't quite like just trying to figure out which one I want to do. It's been difficult.
I think either way you go, I think you'll do great. As I said, yeah, I was originally thinking I was going to do my own background color, like do my own fabrics and do my own background colors. So I wanted something a little more muted than what was showing on the picture itself. But after John showed the fabrics that are being used, they're not as bright and that sort of thing as you see in the picture. And so I was like, okay, well, that kind of, alleviates that concern. And if I go ahead and buy my own stuff, it's going to take me, a long time to figure it out. And it's not going to be cheap. So, yeah, I'm just going to let him take care of it for me.
Yeah, with the way that fabric shops are now with minimum cuts, a lot of these you end up spending a lot more because you can't buy the eighth of a yard of fabric that you need. One of my shops, the smallest cut that they will do is half yard now.
Really? See, everyone I've been to is a quarter. I think Halo, which is up in Williamsburg, which my friends Angel and I can't remember her husband's name now. I'm terrible. I think they do eighths, but yeah, everywhere I've been, it's always been a quarter. I think I wouldn't like to have to buy a half yard of everything. There's a lot of stuff I only need a quarter.
It's one shop, and it just got to the point where they're like, yeah, the smallest that like some people, if you're buying enough, they'll end up doing the quarter yard cuts, but it ends up being half yard that they'll do.
Wow. Yeah, I've seen that online, like, an online store is half yard. And I get that because, it's.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, every physical store I've been to has always been more than happy to do a quarter yard. If it was a half yard minimum and I only need a quarter for a bunch of stuff, I think I'd just be like, yep, sorry. Thank you for your time. I got to go. Because I do a lot of quarter yard. And I know it's a lot of work. I understand that, but yeah, for me, especially for these, John's projects and Elizabeth Hartman, and I only need a quarter yard. I don't want to buy a half if I don't have to. So I'll just wander off if I have to. But I haven't had to do that. As I said, everyone here has been really good and is more than happy to do quarter. The guy up at Halo, he was like, "I'll do a fat quarter if you want." He's happy to do it either way. So
yeah,
I'm usually good just with a regular quarter yard cut. I don't know that I would. But then, there would be some projects where a fat quarter would be good. So it's nice to know they're willing to do it that way. All right, so let's see. Good morning, Laura. She is here. She says, hello, long time no see. Yeah, it's been a while. It's good to see you here. Good afternoon to you. She's one of my friends out there in the UK. I think she has that's her channel on here still. Let's see. If you have a channel and you want to put your link in or your command in, please do so. You should know your command already. If you don't have one, definitely let me know. And we'll get you sorted out. Actually got a couple of rows on this done. This is really good. Good morning, Andrea. It's good to see you. She says, howdy, everyone. I've been signing for a while and lost track of time. Glad I got here in time to say howdy. Well, thank you so much. It's always good to see you.
Losing track of time is so much fun sometimes.
It is, yeah. My only problem when I lose track of time is I don't get as much done as I thought I would.
Well, usually when I'm losing track of time, it's because I'm doing something.
Yeah. Good morning, Pasita. It's good to see you. And Miss Marlene, good to see you as well. All my friends are here. All right.
That's
So
because
here
it's
is
starting to
my...
become a more reasonable time for some people.
I know, yeah. It's just, yeah, we start off with just a few, and then, yeah, people just pop in as time goes on, which is great. Although it was really interesting. What was it? When I went up to Road to Virginia about a month and a half. It's over a month ago now. Wow, time has flown. I decided to do a 7 a.m. live, and I actually got quite a few. I had like twice the amount of people pop in between 7 and 8 than I thought I would. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I had Leanna from Pastry Queen Farm Adventures join me because, sometimes she goes live at 7. And so I reached out to her and said, hey, I don't want you making any changes for me. But if you're not planning on going live that morning, do you want to hang out with me? And she's like, oh, absolutely. And so she
Nice.
normally gets, I've seen her live sometimes, and she'll get like 35, 40 people in between 7 and 8, which fantastic. I think it's lovely that you can get that many early birds. And so I figured, okay, well, if we can get some of her viewers over, we'll get 20 or 30 or so, and the rest can watch the replay, or at least that way they'll have something to watch sometime during the day. We had like 60, 65 people on that live. I was absolutely shocked.
Nice.
So that worked out nicely because I wanted to have a live that day because I'd missed the previous week when we took Eva to the airport. And so I didn't want to miss 2 weeks in a row. And so I figured, okay, well, we'll do the 7 o'clock thing and, at least we'll have something for you. And then there you go. It actually worked out quite well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out October because that's going to be a really messed up schedule with my sister's coming into town that first weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm probably skipping my live there. And then, the following Saturday, I'm flying. The following Saturday, I'm on a boat. And I'm like, I can't miss 3 in a row. So I got to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah, we can work something out. I mean, maybe do some pre-recorded interviews, and put them out those days.
Yeah. I mean, I know I have something that I want to do for at least one of those that I can just publish a.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do it as a premiere, if I'm just going to just pop it up at that point. But
Yeah.
I've got ideas of what I want to do, but it's also in some cases finding the time to record an extra video. People don't realize how much time it takes to record.
No, I didn't realize that myself. For me, it seems to be about a 10-to-1 ratio. So if it's a 10-minute video, it generally takes me about 100 to 120 minutes to, record, edit, make a thumbnail and all that sort of stuff there as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
Andre is asking, do I know my Under the Sea colorway yet? I got my clue one yesterday. No, I do not. I do have a package from Cotton Cuts that I think I put away over there. I better go look for it. I will be live with them on their channel next Thursday evening at, I think it's 8 p.m. Eastern. I think it's 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. I'll have to go look it up to make sure I show up at the correct time. And then the 6 of us that are doing like the Secret Santa thing for colorways, we will all find out which colorway we are doing that particular night. So yeah, no, I do not know yet, but we'll find out this time next week. So the wait is almost over. I have not seen my prepaid kit come in yet. I think they're still working on those for several colorways. So yeah, we'll find out soon. I'm good waiting though. I kind of like not knowing, like having someone else pick for me.
That's usually a lot of fun, as long as you trust the person that they're not going to, quote unquote, sabotage your colorway. Because,
Right.
yeah, if somebody ended up picking just a horrendous colorway for me, I'd be like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, well, I've done this a couple of times now. I had Amber from So Majestic pick it a couple of times ago. I had Cotton Cuts pick it the last time, and then somebody is picking for it this time. I do tell them, hey, look, you have free reign, but I would really like it if, these are the ones that don't speak to me. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if you can pick something else besides this one or these two and that sort of thing there. And other than that, yeah, go to town, have some fun. And the ones that they've picked for me have actually been, were not ones I would pick for myself. Like I would not have picked Flamingo for myself. I would not have picked Tombstone for myself. But they've turned out to be absolutely stunningly beautiful quilts. I've enjoyed working with them, and I'm so glad that they chose it for me. And that's one of the reasons that I have someone else pick it for me, because if you leave me to my own devices, I will stick
You're
with
going
what
to
I
do the
know.
same thing every single time.
Yeah. Are you someone that goes to a restaurant and orders, studies the menu for 25 minutes and still orders the same thing? Yes,
Yes.
that's me. Uh, yeah, so yeah, we'll see what they come up with. I don't know if there was
Which also
really
means
any of this.
I've got to start studying the cruise dining options so I can figure out what I'm eating every meal. Because otherwise, we're going to be sitting in the dining room for an hour and I'm going to yell like, "You haven't figured out what you want to eat yet?"
I do that a lot now. Like if I go to a new restaurant for the first time, I'll actually study the menu before I, leave the house, and so that way,
Uh-huh.
like, I might not have decided exactly which one it is, but I've got it narrowed down to two or three, and then I can decide, when I get there, what do I feel like that particular day. So, um, there you
Yeah, I
go.
started doing that. There is like a couple months ago, a former coworker of mine was like, "We are up in your neck of the woods. Do you want to grab dinner on this day?" I'm like, "Sure." And then we figured out where we're going to eat, and I was like, "Okay, I need to figure out what." So I spent basically half the work day going back to the menu every time I had a chance to say, "Okay, what do I want to eat? What do I want to eat? What do I want to eat?" And then when we got to the restaurant and everything, they're looking at the menu, deciding what they want, the two of them.
Yeah,
And I don't even open up the menu.
right.
and I was like, or they said, "Did you already like do you come here enough that you know what you want?" So I was like, "I've not been to this location ever."
Yeah.
And their other location, which has been closed down for many years now, I've only been to once. And yeah, so I looked at the menu earlier.
Yeah. It doesn't always work. It's nice when it does. Like, we went out to dinner with our colleagues the other night, and to a place I'd never been before. And I studied the menu, and I still didn't know what I wanted. So my colleague looked at me, she's like, "Do you just want to share a couple of appetizers?" I was like, "Well, that sounds good." Yeah. So we split a couple of appetizers between us, because she didn't know what she wanted either. Like she was in the same boat as me. So she's like, "Why don't we just get a couple of these and we'll do that instead?" So
I mean,
that's always an option.
it's worse when you have a ton of menu options on the menu, like the Cheesecake Factory, where they have like 72 different dishes, and it's different cuisines on this. And I'm like, I can't decide on all of this.
I have never eaten a meal at Cheesecake Factory. If I go to Cheesecake Factory, I'm going for cheesecake.
Don't eat a meal there. I'm going to be honest. Like
I've heard that.
they have like it's literally a 20-page menu.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen the menu with
And
even
because the
cheese.
menu
Yeah,
is so big, nothing is outstanding because everything is basically
like a
um
jack of all trades.
yeah, everything is basically prepackaged. You're not getting anything that
Yeah,
somebody spent time working on. It's it's no better than going to like Applebee's where all their food is already sitting in prepackaged stuff and they just basically heat it up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how I felt too. Like, I was like, if you got a 75-page menu, you can't be doing anything particularly well. And we've got, like, where our Cheesecake Factory is, there's so many good restaurant options within a
Yeah.
block of that place. Like, there's a P.F. Chang's across the street. So, if we
Yeah, I'm
want
not
a
a fan
nice
of them
meal,
either.
we've been there a couple of times. It's not the best, but I've taken Amanda to P.F. Chang's. We'll go there and have dinner, because that's what she really wanted. And then we went across the street to get cheesecake. But Cheesecake Factory is also close enough to the office that I can walk up there at lunchtime and grab to go. So a lot of times I'll just order the cheesecake slices, go and grab them, and take them home and eat them. So I figure that's easier, cheaper, and that sort of thing there. But yeah, I would. To me, Cheesecake Factory only sells cheesecake in my, as far as I.
And that's all they should be selling.
Yeah. Joe Kelly says, my opinion, every place is better than Applebee's. I would agree with that, with the exception of KFC.
So I hadn't been to an Apple. Well, okay, so I'm gonna say back in 2001, 2002, sometime in the ancient days, a group of us went to Applebee's, and when I got my food, I had gotten a few bites in, and I found plastic.
Wow.
Like basically, that's how I know that all their stuff is prepackaged, and they just unwrap a little plastic bag and sizzle it up.
Right.
And I did the appropriate thing. I said, hey, look, there's plastic in my food. I don't want to eat this because that's disgusting. And the manager didn't want to comp my food.
Oh.
And I had not been to a KFC, or not a KFC, an Applebee's since, until I was forced to go there in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Because this guy that was interested in me was like, well, let's go to Applebee's. I'm like, do I have to?
Yeah, there you go.
Applebee's
It
is trash.
used to be,
Yeah.
like, it used to be good back in the day. Like, when I first came over here, it was really good. Like, I loved Applebee's.
Yeah.
Back in the early, like the first few years of the 2000s, it was good. But yeah, it's kind of gone downhill. Nikki says she loves KFC coleslaw. I do too. I absolutely adore. That's like the one item I will go to KFC for here in the US. Their coleslaw is fantastic. Chick-fil-A's coleslaw used to be great when they used to make it.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And Hardee's, or what's it called out west?
Carl's Jr.
Thank you. I was thinking about it. Yeah, I love their coleslaw as well. Raising Cane's is not terrible. Their coleslaw is decent, but I'm very picky. Yes, it's definitely for me. It's definitely KFC. Hardee's are my favorites. That sort of thing there. So Nikki says Applebee's is trash. I don't know how to stay open in my town. Yeah, the one near me never has any cars in the parking lot either. So I don't know how these folks stay in business. Nikki says that would be a warning sign on that guy, Russ, if he likes Applebee's. Run. There you go. So
they do have that new song. It was a newer song back then. That was like fancy like Applebee's.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So there you go. That might be some dating advice for folks that are still single and are looking for their significant other. If they have a bad choice in food, they might have bad choices in other things there as well.
Oh, that is a true statement. Although I'm still undecided if I was a jerk about somebody who was in their mid-30s who still had a Velcro wallet.
A what?
A Velcro wallet.
Okay. Hey, we all have our things, but yeah, I think
I'm like, I don't know if I could handle that level.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're into like surf, or if you're a surfer guy or something, I could see it. I don't know. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that. I've been happily married now for almost 25 years. So
Yeah.
I haven't been in the dating market for a very long time, and thankfully, I don't have to worry about it. So that is good. Joyce says KFC used to make really good peach cobbler. I don't know if they still do, but I used to like. Okay, I didn't really know. I don't know. I haven't been to KFC here in a long time. But now that you're
I don't
talking
like
about,
peaches.
yeah, I'm not really big on stone fruit either. I don't mind. I can eat cherries if they're fresh. But that's about it for me. But now that you're all talking about KFC coleslaw, I might have to go ahead and get some later.
So
I,
here in Marietta, we have a KFC that is a big giant chicken, which is labeled here the big chicken. It is a KFC restaurant, but it is the shape of like a 60 or 70-foot chicken.
oh wow. Okay.
And its beak
Okay.
opens and closes and its eyes move.
That's
So
funny.
the
I would have
joke
expected that from Zaxby's, not KFC.
the joke is that all directions in Marietta start with go to the big chicken,
Big chicken.
and then you get your directions from the big chicken, or you begin your directions from the big chicken.
Gotcha. There we go. I didn't realize. Yeah, that's fun. Australia, like back in the 70s, 80s, and that sort of thing, we had the big everything. Like there's a big pineapple, there's the big banana, the
Uh-huh.
big bull. There was, yeah, the big bull was out there in Warhope. That was anatomically correct.
Oh, no.
I don't know if the big bull's still there. The big pineapple, I think, still there. The big banana's still there. It's actually like the banana. They've actually got quite a bit of stuff there to see now. Like they actually have a banana plantation there, and they've got a toboggan sled, which is that's a lot of fun if you're ever in the Coffs Harbour area. But the big prawn, there's a big oyster. There's go look up big stuff in Australia, and you'll see all sorts of things. I don't know if they're all still around. I think the big bull got demolished because it was like in the middle of somebody's farm. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of that sort of stuff there as well. Joyce says if she wants fried chicken, I go to Publix. They had the best fried chicken. Yeah, there's not a lot of places that sell good fried chicken around.
Publix does have really good fried. I mean, everything that you get from Publix seems to be delicious,
Okay,
and
well,
like even their generic stuff is really good.
okay. Yeah, Publix just starting to come into this area. I mean, I've been to them before, like when I was down in Alabama and stuff, and South Carolina. But yeah, I think there's one in Suffolk, which is like 30 minutes away, and that sort
My
of
favorite
thing
thing
there is.
about Publix is if something is buy one get one, you don't have to buy two to get the one free. You can just buy one and it'll be half price.
Yeah, Food Line, which is our
Now, if
main.
it's buy two get two, you have to buy all four. But if
Yeah.
it's buy one get one,
Yeah, our local store, Food Line, it's like that too. It says, buy one, get one free, but then it says underneath, single item is half price. So thankfully, we have a similar situation of ours. So Nikki says the KFC shut down, but they opened a Raising Cane's and a First Watch. I'm not familiar with First Watch. I'm familiar with Raising Cane's.
First Watch.
I'll have to go look up what a First Watch is. I've never heard of that one.
It sounds like a emergency show.
We're going to find out what First Watch is called. Okay, it's an American restaurant chain based in Bradenton, Florida, has 535 locations in 29 states and 14,000 employees. Okay, and I've never heard of this place. Oh, I've seen this. Fast casual. What do they sell?
Ooh, that looks good. I don't even know what this is. Oh,
It's like a breakfast place.
Oh, okay.
All right, so where's one near me? Oh, hang on a second. There's one just down the street from me. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Oh, it's right near the Metro Diner. Oh, okay. No, I'm about to go check that out at some time. Oh, it closes at 2:30 in the afternoon, so it really is waiting for breakfast. Okay, well, there you go. See, I'm learning stuff all the time. So there you go. Yeah, Raising Cane's is decent. I prefer Zaxby's. I like the breading on their chicken better, but everybody likes their own, has her own preference on that. Simon loved Raising Cane's, so did Eva. But they also both had connections to Texas. So they were used to Raising Cane's.
Yeah, we don't have Raising Cane's here, but we have Zaxby's, which is
Yeah.
close, but obviously different.
I like the bread from Cane's better. I like the breading on Zaxby's better. The fries, either one will work for me. I like the seasoning on Zaxby's better probably. So yeah, if I'm given a choice, I'll hit Zaxby's up. But if the kids want to go to Raising Cane's, I'll happily take them there as well. So there you go. Let's see. Nikki says she likes the Popeyes chicken strips. I don't know that I've tried their chicken strips. I might have to go check that out later on too. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Is anyone else
there's
getting
a
hungry
couple of
for
First
this?
Watches in the area here.
You have?
I mean, they're not exactly convenient, but they're like the closest one is up in Kennesaw.
Oh, okay.
Which, if they're breakfast and lunch only, that's only it's like a 15-minute drive, but I'll have to put them on the list for next time that David comes and visits.
Yeah, let's say mine's closest one's like 10 minutes up the street, so it's not super far at all. There's towards 1, 2, 3, 4.
Melanie only eats the Cobb fried salad at Zaxby's. My favorite is sensation salad at Zaxby's.
I think I've ever had the. Amanda said that salad's good. Like, I'm not a salad person, I refer to it as bunny food, but if that's what you enjoy, I'm very happy for you. I think we got the wrong. That's what it was. We got the wrong order one time. I think someone placed an online order, and I picked it up, or I don't know. Somehow she got a salad instead of a chicken strip meal, and she was hungry. And she was like, "Well, I'm just gonna eat it." And she said it was actually really, really good. So apparently, yeah, if you have a hankering for a salad at Zaxby's, give it a shot and see what happens, because it might not be terrible.
They do have good salads.
Yeah, that's what she said, like when she got it, because I was like, well, do you want me to go back and get it changed? She's like, no, because it looks like a 20-minute drive. And she's like, I'll eat it. And then she told me afterwards it was really good. So, yeah. Apparently, yeah, if you want to try if you want to try salad at Zaxby's, you'd probably be very pleased. Okay, let's see. Joe's was not a fan of Raising Cane's. She said it was tasteless. Yeah, it's not for everybody. I definitely prefer Zaxby's or Chick-fil-A over it, but the kids seem to like it. So
yeah,
at least those two. I don't remember. I think Allie she didn't mind it, but yeah, it was definitely Simon's favorite because his brother was hosted out in Texas, so I guess they went out to it a few times and so forth. So. There you go. Nikki says she's never been to Zaxby's. Just one in Columbia in about 25 minutes from me. Give it a try sometime. If you like fried chicken, like chicken strips and stuff, I think you'll enjoy it. I used to drive something like the first one that came into our area was up in Williamsburg, and it was a good hour from us. And sometimes we'd drive to Williamsburg to go get Zaxby's. So thankfully now there's one 10 minutes down the street from me, so I don't have to drive super far. But yeah. The one we used to go to in Williamsburg has since closed, so I'm glad we do have one closer.
Yeah, I've only got 1.25 miles to go to my Zaxby's, so.
Yeah, I think it's about 3. Well, there's actually one about 1.5 miles from me, but it's horrible. I wouldn't go there if you paid me. But the one that's a little further away.
You have to say it's the good location or the bad location.
yeah. No, the one closest to me is not good, but the one that's like maybe 1 mile further is definitely worth the extra 5 minutes it takes you to get there.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I do say that with the Chick-fil-A's in the area because there's 3 within a 2.5 mile radius of me.
Mm-hmm.
And the the one that I prefer to go to, like they're super awesome, super nice, friendly, and everything.
Yeah.
I will go and avoid other locations to go to that place.
Yeah. Thankfully, the Chick-fil-A's near us. There's really only one near me. Well, it's still a good 10 miles away. There's only like one in this area that I would not go to because it's like slow as molasses. Well, there's another one that's not great either, but most of them in this area I'll happily go to. Zaxby's, what was I going to say? The McDonald's. Like if I have a hankering for a double cheeseburger or something, the one near my office, I won't go to. If you can't pay me enough to go to that one because I mean I could go out and raise a cow, kill the cow, process the cow, and cook it quicker than those people can. So
Yeah.
I'll drop. It's always frustrating on the app because if I want to order it on the app, I've got to tell it to change the location like 5 times because it keeps telling me to go there. I'm like, no. I will not go there. So there you go. Tasha says, I don't have any of those places, but people rave about the cane sauce. It makes me want to try it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we can get some to you at some point. Do they sell the
I do like
Chick-fil-A
the fact
sauce
that
now in the
Chick-fil-A
store?
sauces are now available in the grocery store.
I could drink that stuff. That stuff is fantastic. I love Chick-fil-A sauce. Actually, before they brought out Chick-fil-A sauce, I don't know if they still have it, but it was the what was it, the honey roasted sauce or
Oh,
whatever?
you
Yeah,
can
that
you get
stuff.
that when the or if you get you can actually still get that,
Okay.
but
I
with
actually
one of the grilled chicken sandwiches, they give it to you automatically.
Oh, okay. Well, I used to love that stuff and I could drink that by the gallon too. And I actually took some of that with me to Australia and I was like, I don't know if they got to let it in because customs is very particular about stuff with eggs in it and stuff, and it says on there it has eggs. And I was like, you know what? I'm taking some with me. I'll declare it at customs, and if they confiscate it, they confiscate it, and if not, then all is well. And so I showed it to the customs officer, and he looks at it and he's like, okay, it's commercially packaged, no problem, off you go. So I was like, well, thank goodness. But if I hadn't declared and they saw it had eggs in it, then I would have been fine. So I was just like, I'll take my chances and hopefully, because it's commercially packaged, I'll be okay with it. But if not, then at least I won't get in trouble. So I think I said good morning to Mona. If I didn't, good morning. I saw you come in a little earlier. All right. Well, it is almost time to go. I'm just going to finish this seam and then we'll start our stuff and goodbye.
I got my block done.
Very nice.
So
I
I
didn't
just got to get
realize.
it trimmed, and then I've got, what is that? The blocks that my flying geese need to go into, I need to get those put into 12-inch blocks, and then I'm ready for when Stephanie says we are putting it together.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm excited. Unfortunately, I won't be able to quilt it on my machine because it's just barely too big.
I always thought that, like, I saw pictures of this, and I guess I hadn't paid too much attention to it, but I always thought that was traditionally pieced.
It could be traditionally pieced, but some of the blocks are so, like, there's 4-inch log cabins in there where the pieces are finishing at 1/2 inch.
Right.
So you could hypothetically put that together traditionally, but you're going to get the proper accuracy with
The paper
the
piece.
foundation paper
Yeah,
piecing papers.
makes sense. So there you go. Yeah. But it's been fun watching you do that. It's that I've seen that some of your videos and that sort of thing there, and I guess I hadn't been paying close enough attention to know that it was paper piece. But
Yeah,
that's fun to
I
know.
have a pattern that's sitting down here waiting to be cut at some point that is all square and square blocks. And I had initially bought a ruler that said, if I cut it according to the pattern and I can do it this way, then, I can maybe start using it as headers and enders, or leaders and enders. But then after all of this with the paper piecing stuff, and I'm like, the square and square paper is so easy, and it's going to cost me $100 in papers to do this quilt because it's got so many freaking blocks in it. but I'm thinking that that's how I'm going to do it instead. I'm going to buy the 600 papers, the $100 worth of papers in order to do that quilt. And I'll just start once I get other stuff off my project list, I'll start getting
Right.
that on.
Yeah. I know we always seem to have more stuff on our list than we have time to do. It just, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the only one who has that problem. So I'm getting a bigger and bigger collection of John's patterns that I want to do, and I'm like, I've got to hurry up and finish stuff. But I got to get this. I got to get this done. The pink quilt, the state fair quilt. Those are my three big.
I've got
projects.
graduation quilts that need to be done. So
There you go. All right. So do you have anything else exciting happening on your channel before we duck off?
the exciting thing is in an hour and a half, I will be live on my channel with my 11sies. I will be sewing up, or I'll be starting the graduation quilts, one of the graduation quilts. It's going to be boring sewing, but it's going to always just be a lot of fun chit-chatting with folks.
Oh yeah, and I mean we all just enjoy the camaraderie and just the chat and that sort of thing.
Oh
there,
no,
so.
it's boring. So it's sewing just strips. When the sewing cam comes on, people will just start falling asleep if they start watching it.
Okay. Well, I've been just sewing these.
Just straight through.
They come for us, anyway. That's why I was like,
Yes.
you know what, I'm just going to say these 8.5 inch squares. It's all good. So there you go. But anyway, yeah, definitely come back and check Russ out at 11. But if you want to hang, if you need something to do in between, you can definitely go see Donnell at 10. And then let's see who else is on later on. We've got Mum and Pop Quilt Shop that normally pop in. They're usually live at 1, and then Katie will be live at 4:30, I think it is today. Stephanie, is she live today at 5?
I don't know. She is. I haven't seen a card yet.
Okay, well, go check out her anyway and see if she's live at 5.
She initially wanted to do the Bumbleberry Pie finishing today, and I was like, with Sean and everything up early, I don't think I can do 3 different lives today.
I know. I struggle to do more than one, so I couldn't imagine doing 3. Good gravy. Yeah, I can understand why you pass on that one. So, because it takes, it's a lot. So there you go. But yeah, definitely go check Russ out. He's a lot of fun. So if you haven't seen his channel, please go check it out. If you like me, you like what you saw with Russ today, you got to see more of that. He's the same here as he is on his own channel. So definitely do that. I'll be back tomorrow morning with my not my live, what's it called? Podcast. We'll get it right there in a minute. Tomorrow morning as usual. And then next Thursday, duck over to Cotton Cuts at 8 p.m. Eastern, and we'll find out what colorway that some mystery person has picked for me. So there you go. Thank you all for tuning in. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button. It helps out immensely. Tell a friend, join the party next time around, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for having a good joining us, and have a good day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.